Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Here is our latest video of our newest project, which is this beautiful large chest of drawers. I've grabbed it from Facebook Marketplace for about £30 a couple of months ago, and although it was in really good condition, it was just outdated and it really needed some love and some modernization. So let's see how I upcycled this piece. First of all, just like with any other piece, the first thing to do was to clean this piece as thoroughly as possible, and to do that I'm using the elbow grease, which has never let me down before. After the entire piece has been cleaned, the next step for me is to remove all the hardware. At this point I wasn't sure if I'm going to use it again or not, but I still was prepared to use it again, maybe if not this time, but at another time for a different furniture. And because of that, I'm always saving the exact same screws for each of the handles that they had in. These ornamental pieces are secured to the drawers by very small nails, and to remove them I'm just using this spatula to get in between the ornamental piece and the drawer. And of course, as always, I've got my supervisor on board, making sure I'm doing everything alright. Next, I wanted to use a varnish remover to remove all the lacquer and varnish from the top of these drawers, and as well as the top of the chest of drawers. So to apply that, I'm using just a sponge and just dabbing it onto the drawer front. After I have applied the stripper, I have left it on for about 3 or 4 hours before I returned to remove it. After the 3-4 hours, I have decided to remove all the stripper, and to begin with I was using this plastic spatula that you can see me using now. And I had to quickly realize that it wasn't working how I wanted it to work, so I have swapped over to a metal spatula, which was significantly better, but it still wasn't the best. So I have decided to grab my ultimate tool, which was this scraper. As you can see, the scraper has definitely improved the quality of scraping and also the speed of this process. It has removed much more of the finish and much more of the stripper as well, and it was significantly quicker, so this was my go-to. After the scraping, I have cleaned the drawers thoroughly to remove all the residue of the stripper, and then the next thing I had to do was to sand the drawers. I was using a 120 grit sandpaper, And although you might still think that this video clip is quite slow, which is showing you how I was sanding, bear in mind this is a 20 times speed up, so it was 20 times slower than this. You can imagine, it was a lot of work, but I think it has definitely worth it. After finishing all the drawers, the next thing I did was to scuff sand the entire piece or the entire frame of these chest of drawers to prepare it for priming and then eventually painting. And again, after sanding, I have wiped down the entire piece and I made sure that there is no dust left on it so that the primer can adhere to it the best it can. And onto the priming part. Again, I'm using my Zinsser BIN primer, which is my ultimate go-to primer. It has a great coverage, it protects against bleeding through, and this is probably the strongest primer that you can get, and you can never really go wrong with this one. Please excuse my very weird hand movement. I really didn't know where the camera was, but I wanted to make sure that I'm showing you guys what paint I'm using. For those who have been following me for a while, you must have realized that I have used this paint before, which was for a custom request for a commission piece, and I really fell in love with the color, and I still had some at home, so I decided, you know what, why not? I might as well just use it. And again, I wasn't disappointed. Just like all Dixie, Belle and Fusion mineral paints, this one has a great coverage as well, which we should have got used to it by now. And as you can see, this is the first coat that I'm applying, but it already gives a beautiful coverage. Probably it looks like if you would have painted already at least 2 coats on it, so I just love these brands. While the paint was drying, I decided to darken these drawers a little bit, and to do that I'm using a wood stain in walnut color, which I have used before and I loved it, so I was quite sure I'm going to use this one. So I'm applying it with a sponge, just like I used sponge quite a lot of times for this project, and I'm just making sure that I'm covering the entire drawer all over, and once it's done, I don't let it dry, I wipe it back straight away. Here is the drawer before staining it, and here is after 2 coats of stain. I think it looks amazing. After all, I have decided to use the original hardware just because it suited the piece best, and I just spray painted it black color. And here is the final piece. It looks so much different than how it looked before. I mean, I love the colors, I love the green color, I love how the drawers came out, and I think the handles are just bringing it all together. Let me know guys, how do you like this video? Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it and give it a thumbs up, and follow us because we will have new videos coming soon. See you in a few weeks.